So I've been playing the pentatonic scale for many years, but only in the last few years have I heard people talk about the pentatonic box. At first I didn't get it, but then I realized what all the talk was about. So if you are feeling stuck playing this same old 5-note scale, today I'm going to give you 3 tips that will break you out of that box and give you more freedom moving around the fretboard. So grab your guitar and let's get into it. So hey, as we get started, I'd like to say thank you to Rick Taylor with RBI Music and Vintage Guitars for loaning me this guitar to use in the video. If you're interested in checking out vintage guitars, I'll leave a link in the description. Alright, so first of all, what is the pentatonic box? So I guess the idea is just a matter of getting stuck in this one box or this one scale position, which this is actually the A minor pentatonic position 1. So there's 5 positions to every pentatonic scale. And I've got another video that I'll share with you later on that goes into a lot of detail about all the pentatonic positions. Today, we're just going to be talking about the A minor pentatonic scale once again. So tip number 1, we're going to add 2 notes to this scale. So we're going to add a blues note, which is the flat 5. So we call this the blues note or the flat 5 note. The reason it's the flat 5 note is because here's your 1, here's your 3, here's your 4, here's your 5, and we're going down half a step from that 5. So now we've got this scale we're still in the box, but we're working our way out of it. So the next note we're going to add is going to be the major third. So this scale is made up of a 1, a minor third or flat 3, a 4, 5, and flat 7, back to 1. So it's going to be 1, flat 3, or minor third, and we're going to add that note right there. So it's going to look something like this. So the way this major third note works in this scale usually is going to be preceding the minor third. So it's going to look like this. So now let's talk real quick about using all of these notes in this scale. So if you were playing a blues song in the key of A, you've got your A dominant 7th chord as your 1, then you've got your D dominant 7th chord as your 4, and then you've got your E dominant 7th chord as your 5. So the idea of the major third note would be because it's in this A dominant 7th chord. So if you were playing a song or chord progression that was just in the A minor, then you wouldn't use this major third. You just stick with just the blues scale. Alright, so tip number 2, it's time to break out of the box. So we're going to go through this scale, but we're going to use different positions, and that's going to take us from here all the way to here. So here's what that scale looks like. Starting out on the G, on the 3rd fret, top string. Go to the 5th fret, which is your root note, your A. We get to the C here on your 5th string. Now we can do a chromatic scale up to the E. Now, a side note, would we want to do that like playing a solo when we're, improvising? Probably not. We're going to use these notes sparingly, but we do have these notes to work with. So starting here, chromatic here. Now we're going to our flat 7 and back to our 1, which is our root note. So this next section, we're talking about starting at the root note, and then we're going to go. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to play some notes here, and we're going to slide up to this next position. And now we're in the 2nd position of the A minor pentatonic scale. So far we've got this scale. Practice that one section. Now from here we're going from our perfect fifth or our E note, then we're going here, which is our flat 7, and then we're going here, which is back to our root note. So our root notes are, now we're doing the exact same thing. We're starting with our root note, then we're going to our minor third or flat 3, and we're doing that same chromatic all the way up to this E note right here. So here it is. Now from this E, we can go to this G, and then back to this A. So now we have this full scale to work with. So hey, if you're finding this lesson helpful, it would be great if you could hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. So tip number 3, we're going to talk about some sequences and some basic riffs or licks, whatever you want to call it, using this scale. This is going to be a way of kind of just improvising if you were playing, once again, this A dominant 7th chord. So as a side note, when you're playing the blues in the key of A, you're playing this A7 where you're also playing the D7 for the 4th chord and the E7 for the 5th chord, and there are a couple other notes in there that you'll want to kind of play with when you're playing the 4th and the 5th chord. But that is another lesson, and that will be coming soon. For right now, we're going to stick with this one scale that we've learned, and we're going to play these notes just like we've learned them. So the first thing I'd like to do is break down the intro that I started with in this video. So this is a great example of what we talked about from here all the way to here, and I'm going to use that blues note 3 different times. Check it out. So let's play that slow and break it down. So I'm going to play it one last time, and I'm going to stop on each blues note. And then now here's our chromatic walk up. So if you'll notice, I did not play the major third anywhere in that sequence. I always just played the minor third. So here's our major third once again. That's our other note we learned. Here is kind of some idea of how to use that. Check this lick out here. And I'll finish it off like this. Notice I'm ending with that root note. So if you played that A7 chord and then played that lick, it would work perfectly, because you got to have that major third to have that A7 chord. So here's a cool lick that would use that minor third to major third. So here's a lick, and notice how I can go up or down to the root note. That's going down to the root note. Now check this out. Here's the exact same idea right here. Now we'll go up to the root note. So once again, the idea is to go from here all the way to here, and you're just going to play around with this scale. So just using this sequence that we learned, you're playing from the 5th position of the A minor pentatonic scale, which looks like this. The 1st position, obviously. The 2nd position. The 3rd position. the fourth position, and then back to your fifth position. So hey, I had a blast making this video, and I really do believe if you will apply this stuff, you can absolutely take your lead guitar playing to a new level. And once you have these patterns and positions down, you can play in any key all over the fretboard. So as I mentioned earlier, I have another video all about how to quickly learn all 5 of the pentatonic positions. So click the video on your screen or the one I'll link below. Keep rocking, and we'll see you in the next video.